Hi, my name is Ananta Bastala, and the topic I've chosen for my presentation is critical theory. These are the contents. Introduction. Now, the critical theory plays a significant role in providing meaning to the policies that highly influence the education of children. Therefore, practicing policies in the early childhood settings or other institutions allow educators to offer learning experiences professionally and build understanding of the prominent teaching strategies that they can cater to support children's needs and strengths. Now, social factors is also one of the reasons that causes barriers to children's learning and obstructs them to achieve the success. Therefore, with the knowledgeable use of critical theory, which it encourages to question and challenges the practices or traditions to offer adequate support to children's learning needs and skills. Now, educators applying the concept of critical theories in their practice allows them to critically reflect on their attitudes, perspectives, and philosophical views and create the learning environment that essentially meets the requirements of children's rights and capabilities. Critical theory and government policies. Now, critical theory raise awareness of the social problems or beliefs that obstructs the progress of the specific group or class. So, for example, embedding the inclusion policy with respect to critical theory in early childhood settings or schools guides in implementing curriculum in developmentally appropriate ways that support the children with disability to acquire the same curriculum as their peers. On the other hand, critical theories focus on the control and power that occur within institutions and schools and providing support to people who have been historically marginalized and excluded by the dominant groups. Now, for example, the incorporation of Aboriginal educational policy in early childhood settings and schools allows opportunities for educators to build and demonstrate their higher expectations of all Aboriginal children. Societal issues and concerns. So there must be many issues and concerns, but I have gathered three issues, like which is most commonly found within society. And therefore, with the use of critical theory, these three issues, the critical theories can challenge the issues emerges within the community. So, for example, cultural diversity. As we know that Australia's rich diversity essentially comprises varieties of discourses and issues. And however, major issues emerged among the bicultural children in schools who encounter discrimination in terms of low socioeconomic status and inadequate language proficiency that resulted in limiting their ability for engaging with other cultural background children. Therefore, applying critical theory in education, I believe that it supports the consciousness of marginalized, dominant, or subordinate groups, and therefore it is crucial to raise the consciousness of people who wants to empower themselves. The other social issue is racism. As we can see that social inequality and discriminatory approach is one of the common issue that emerge in the society. Now, racism leads to social inequalities by creating barriers and systematic disadvantage for marginalized racial groups. It can limit access to resources, opportunities, and equal rights. On the other hand, prejudice and stereotyping. Now, racism is often seen in prejudiced beliefs and stereotypes. about individuals or groups based on their race. Now, this leads to misconceptions or unfair assumptions about people because of their racial background. The third one is gender inequalities. Now, gender stereotypes. So children are often subjected to gender stereotypes and biases, which shape their beliefs, attitudes, and behaviors. Now, these stereotypes limit children's self-expression, reinforce gender norms, and can have long-term implications for their personal and professional lives. Lack of social skills and peer pressure. Now, children may face pressure from peers and society to conform to gender norms and expectations. This pressure can limit their exploration of diverse interests, hobbies, and talents that leads to gender inequalities and hinders their self-discovery and identity development. Bullying and discrimination. Now, children who do not conform to traditional gender norms may experience bullying, harassment, or discrimination from peers and even adults. This can negatively impact their self-esteem, mental health, and overall well-being. Reflection of educators' pedagogical philosophies, visions, and advocacy. Now, children's learning and understanding is highly influenced by educators, philosophies, and perspectives. Therefore, it is essential for early childhood educators to critically reflect on their belief and teaching practices that promotes positive learning environment among children. As an early childhood educator, I believe that children's voices are to be valued, supported, and acknowledged as individuals. They have the right to participate and share their views and or concerns with others. For example, viewing children as an active participants and decision makers provide opportunities for educators to build expectations of what children can do and learn. I further believe that to understand children's skills and learning, educators need to respect and work with each child where they possess unique qualities and strengths. Now, on the other hand, acknowledging children's participation allows them to gather strong sense of trust and build connection with the educators. It further boosts their confidence where they demonstrate increasing cooperation with working in learning experiences in a group. Also, it is necessary for educators to critically reflect and challenge their practices that leads to inequalities or unfairness and design curriculum that promotes authentic participation and inclusion within the environment. On the other hand, practicing children's rights in the early childhood settings allows educators to use the teaching strategies in a way that promotes inclusive learning environment. For example, embedding children's right to be heard allows educators to maintain positive relationship with children and acknowledge their voice. Conclusion. Now, to sum up, critical theory primarily influenced the policies and creates an environment where equality, equity, and social justice is practiced increasingly in the educational settings or institutions. And that leads to support children's needs, rights, and skills. The policies further provide additional support guidance to educators on their teaching strategies and assist them to use it effectively, which further support higher quality learning environment. Also, cultural diversity, race, and gender significantly impact the education. Therefore, early childhood curriculum or school programs stressed in delivering effective knowledge and programs in supporting inclusive learning environment. Moreover, having philosophical view of respecting children's voices and decisions allows educators to gain insights of children's interests and needs. On the other hand, respecting children's views and ideas leads to a vision of practicing inclusion where children's rights are celebrated. Thank you, everyone.